Close your eyes, my dear, and let your breath slow to a gentle rhythm. Imagine, if you will, a quiet countryside, where the sun warms the fields and the air carries the scent of growing things. And in this peaceful setting, nestled within a charming, rambling house, lived a small rat named Remy. Now, Remy was not just any rat. He had an extraordinary gift, a sensitivity to smells and tastes that set him apart. While his family saw food simply as sustenance, Remy saw art, a symphony of flavors waiting to be composed. He dreamed of creating beautiful dishes, of becoming a chef, much to the quiet concern of his father, Django, and the cheerful confusion of his brother, Emile. Remy loved to watch television, especially a cooking show hosted by a joyful, renowned chef named Auguste Gusteau, whose motto was a comforting whisper: "Anyone can cook." Gusteau's elegant cookbook became Remy's most treasured possession, a silent guide to his culinary aspirations. One day, a quiet, unexpected event brought a gentle change to Remy's world. While his colony was gathering provisions in the attic of the very house where they lived, a sudden disturbance arose. The kind old lady living there discovered their presence. In the ensuing flurry, Remy, holding on to his precious cookbook, found himself separated from his family. He was swept along by swift, dark currents through the sewers, a long, solitary journey beneath the quiet streets. Feeling a touch of loneliness, but also a persistent hope. As he drifted, a comforting, transparent image of Gusteau appeared to him, a gentle spirit encouraging him forward. Gusteau's spirit reminded Remy of his dreams, guiding him through the dark until at last a faint light beckoned. Remy emerged into the crisp night air, high above the rooftops of a magnificent city. It was Paris, city of lights, and there, before him, stood a grand restaurant, its inviting glow illuminating the words, Gusteau's, his hero's own establishment. With a curious heart, Remy found his way into the kitchen, a bustling world of clanking pots and sizzling pans. He watched, captivated, as a young man named Alfredo Linguini, a new and rather clumsy kitchen hand, accidentally spilled a pot of soup. In a moment of quiet inspiration, Remy couldn't resist. He quietly, skillfully, added a few special touches, a pinch of herbs, a dash of something warm, transforming the ruined broth into a truly delightful creation. Just then, the head chef, a stern but calculating man named Skinner, observed Linguini by the soup and mistakenly believed he had created the delicious dish. Skinner, who had inherited the restaurant after Gusteau's passing and was determined to profit from Gusteau's name, saw an opportunity. However, he also saw Remy. A chase ensued, but in a serendipitous moment, Linguini captured Remy, saving him from Skinner's harsher intentions. Linguini, overwhelmed and a bit afraid, was instructed to dispose of the rat far from the restaurant. But something unexpected happened. Linguini discovered Remy's remarkable ability to understand him, and a silent, extraordinary partnership began to form. They made a secret pact. Remy would guide Linguini's movements from beneath his chef's hat, gently pulling his hair to direct his clumsy hands. And together they would cook. Linguini would be the public face, and Remy the hidden genius. The first attempts were a little wobbly, but with practice a quiet rhythm developed between them. Chef Colette Tatou, the only female chef in the kitchen, and a formidable presence with a soft heart beneath her sharp exterior, was assigned to train Linguini. Her instructions, though firm, were precise and encouraging. Under Remy's silent guidance, Linguini began to produce astonishing dishes, much to the surprise of the other chefs, who were initially quite skeptical. The restaurant, which had been gently fading since Gusteau's passing, began to glow with renewed vigor, its tables filling with happy diners once more. Remy, in his quiet moments, discovered a deep affection for Linguini, seeing him not just as a means to cook, but as a kind friend. Yet the longing for his own family remained. One evening, he quietly ventured out, and, to his great joy, found Emile. Their reunion was tender, a comforting balm to Remy's lonely heart. Soon after, he also reconnected with his father, Django, who, though proud of Remy's talents, carried a deep-seated caution about humans. Meanwhile, Skinner, ever watchful, became increasingly suspicious of Linguini's sudden culinary prowess. He discovered a hidden truth. Linguini was, in fact, Auguste Gusteau's son, and thus the rightful heir to the restaurant. Skinner's dreams of profiting from Gusteau's legacy began to gently unravel. He schemed to regain control, but his quiet manipulations were eventually uncovered. Linguini, now confident and beloved, publicly claimed his inheritance and took ownership of Gusteau's. With his newfound confidence, Linguini began to feel more at ease, perhaps a little too much so. He started to forget the quiet, brilliant rat who was the true artist behind his success. He even developed a soft affection for Colette, which brought a gentle warmth to the kitchen. Remy, feeling a quiet pang of neglect, began to feel a familiar solitude return. In a moment of gentle desperation, he allowed his family to quietly help themselves to some provisions from the restaurant's pantry, a small act that, sadly, grew into a larger misunderstanding and a quiet rift between him and Linguini. Then came the grand announcement that stirred the quiet waters of Paris's culinary world. Anton Ego, the most feared and influential food critic, a man whose words could gently lift a restaurant to fame or quietly close its doors forever, was coming to dine. The pressure was immense, a heavy cloak settling over the entire staff. That evening, as the dinner service approached, the tension in the kitchen became almost palpable. Linguini, filled with a mix of anxiety and a deep, true affection for Remy, knew he had to be honest. He gathered his entire staff and, in a heartfelt confession, revealed his secret. The true chef was Remy. He removed his hat, and Remy appeared, small and dignified. The revelation, though delivered with sincerity, was too much for the human chefs. They quietly, one by one, walked away, leaving Linguini and Remy utterly alone in the kitchen, just as Anton Ego arrived. A profound sadness settled in the kitchen, but hope arrived in an unexpected form. Colette, remembering Gusteau's timeless words, "Anyone can cook," returned, her heart softened by loyalty and understanding. And then a truly remarkable sight. Django, touched by his son's integrity, brought the entire rat colony to the kitchen. They came not to take, but to help, a silent, disciplined brigade of tiny chefs ready to cook. Colette took charge of the front of the house, while Linguini, with a quiet humility, became the waiter, serving the dishes his tiny friends prepared. Remy, with his family and Colette working in gentle harmony, crafted the perfect dish for Anton Ego, a simple, heart-warming ratatouille, served with a quiet flourish. Anton Ego, a man known for his stern demeanor, took his first bite. And then something beautiful happened. The flavors, so comforting and true, transported him back to his childhood, to a simple, perfect meal prepared by his mother after a small tumble. His hard heart softened, his eyes misted, and he quietly savored every spoonful, a gentle smile gracing his lips. The next day, Anton Ego wrote his review. It was not a loud, dramatic piece, but a quiet, profound reflection on talent, humility, and the unexpected places where greatness can bloom. He wrote of the new chef, the finest chef in France, and spoke of the courage it took to truly see. Despite the profound impact of Ego's review, Gusteau's, due to the health inspector's quiet investigation, following Skinner's last, desperate efforts, had to close its doors. But this was not an ending, merely a gentle turning of the page. Anton Ego, having been quietly transformed, invested his resources. Linguini, Colette, and Remy, along with Remy's loyal family, opened a charming new bistro, smaller, cozier, and utterly delightful. Its name was La Ratatouille. Here, Remy was free. He cooked alongside Colette, guiding her, his every creation a testament to his passion. Linguini greeted the guests with his warm smile, and Anton Ego became a regular, sitting at a quiet table, contentedly enjoying Remy's exquisite creations. The restaurant even featured a special, smaller dining area for Remy's family, a place where they could share in the joy of food. And so, my dear, in this gentle, harmonious new place, Remy, the rat who dared to dream, found his true home. The city hummed with quiet contentment, and the aroma of delicious food, cooked with heart and soul, drifted softly through the Parisian air, lulling everyone into a peaceful, satisfied sleep. Now, rest your own head and drift off into dreams as sweet and comforting as Remy's perfect ratatouille. Good night.